It's time for checking in with Hubert Davis. If you're watching this, I just apologize for my attire. I didn't know that this was going to be formal today.
Yep.
But apparently it is. See, our legal team doesn't care what you wear. You can wear whatever you want. See our commitment, see our results, see our legal team, proud partner of Carolina Athletics.
I like the hoodie.
Thank you. Well, you had on this same hoodie at practice last week, one day, I think.
I did.
But obviously we're not at practice.
Wear that here.
Yeah,
I wore it at practice.
Yeah, there's some decorum here on checking in.
Okay, thanks. All right, we're going to cut right here. We'll start over. 3, 2, 1. The Tar Heels don't play this week. 4 practices without a game, there's a day off in there because NCAA rules, is a luxury you don't get very often. Yeah. What do you want to do with this week? Is it more of is it a physical intermission, a mental intermission? What is it exactly?
Both. I think it's, for this team, it has come at the perfect time. I just, a time where obviously Thursday and Friday, you're looking ahead in preparation for, the game against Pittsburgh, but it's really a week where we have time to work on us and try to address and improve the things that we need to improve on for the remainder of the season. And, it's hard to do that when you're always preparing for an opponent. And having this time this week to get guys healthy, a mental break, and also physically being able just to practice is something that, as I said before, that I think this team needs, and I'm looking forward to it.
What is, for you and the coach off the floor, away from the practice court, what are your discussions like this week? Because you've got 5-6 weeks left here in the regular season. Is this guys, well, let's hammer down on what we're doing? Is this hey, we need to look at everything and maybe make some adjustments? What are the conversations this week with you and your staff?
Yeah, I think there's all of the above. Where are some things that we need to tweak, alter, pivot, and change on both ends of the floor. With this week, it's, a time that we need to go out. We're going out to recruit. But also, I think this is a huge week in terms of encouraging the guys and building up their confidence. And I want to make sure that our guys are confident, they're ready to go. Once we start playing games again on Saturday, and, losing 4 out of the last 5, the spirit needs to continue to be up. And I just want to use this week just building these guys up, giving them loads of confidence to be able to play their best, not only this Saturday, but for the remainder of the season.
The Duke game gets so much attention because it's Carolina-Duke. It didn't go the way that Carolina wanted, obviously. But it's just one game. How do you convey that message, or is that even a message? Just because I'm sure there's a lot more outside talk after this game because it is one that gets so much attention.
Yeah, I talk about that all the time, about taking it one game at a time. And, for us, yes, the Duke game gets a ton of attention, but it is just one game for us. One of the things that I gave them was, and I usually do this around this time, is give them, keep your eyes straight ahead, ignore all sideshow distractions, and it's Proverbs 4:25. And I tell them that I gave them an illustration of, a couple of our guys have been to the Kentucky Derby, and, when you go there, you see the racehorses and they've got the blinders on. And the reason being is they keep the horses focused on what's right in front of them and what's real. There's more that's going on than just a race. There's concerts, there's parties, there's cocktails, there's helicopters and airplanes and all kinds of stuff, but they're trying to keep the horse focused on what is real, and what's most important is that race. And that's for us. Our, what needs to be our focus this week is getting better. And our focus needs to be on Pittsburgh on Saturday. And then after that game, the focus is on Clemson on Monday. And so just taking it one day, one game at a time, and seeing if we can improve and get better.
With a couple days to think about us, like you said, what are some things, what are some areas where you feel like us could be better? Like, what, you can't get taller, you can't trade players, pick up a waiver edition or something, or any of those things that you might do in the NBA. What are some things that, as you look at this team, you think, I believe we could make adjustments to do these things better?
This is who we've been all season. We have consistently been inconsistent. That's who we've been all year at the little small details. And what I mean by that is, from an offensive standpoint, shot selection, turnovers. The last 2 games, we've given up 41 points off of turnovers. That's 20 a game averaging, where a team is scoring off of a turnover where we don't get a shot. That's not sustainable. It doesn't matter who you play. So we've got to do a better job of valuing and taking care of the basketball. And then, from a defensive standpoint, just, box outs, defending without fouling. Those things all year have consistently been inconsistent, but those are things that you can change. You can't change our height. You can't change certain things about our team, but those are things that can be changed, an opportunity. And so if we change those things, the outcomes will change. If we don't, it won't.
Just knowing you and knowing how competitive you are, I know that as you're thinking about these things, you're probably thinking about, oh, well, I could have done this or I could have done that. When you're thinking about it, when you have a day like Sunday where you played a game and you don't practice, and you're thinking about what could I do better, what do you think about?
I think it's important to always look at, how can you get better? How can you improve? I've always felt like, and for me and for everyone, should always be in a position of listening and learning. I don't know everything. I'm not a perfect person, so that qualifies me not to be the perfect coach, and always look back and, how can I do this better? How can I improve this? What kind of things do I need to tweak or change? And just, I filter everything. I am 100% perfect on this. I am 100% perfect on every decision that I make is filtered through what do I think is in the best interest of that individual player and what's in the best interest of this team in this program. Whether I get it right or wrong, it is much thought into every decision that I make with this team in this program.
One guy who flashed in that game against Duke was Drake Powell. And we have seen Drake. There's been times where Drake looks like he's the best player on the floor, and then there's some times where he's out there for a little bit and he doesn't flash as much. When he's flashing, when he's doing things that make you go, whoa, what in your mind is he doing differently on the court when he's having those great moments?
Yeah, he's really aggressive on the offensive end, in terms of, because I think he can be elite in terms of being able to attack the basket. He makes good decisions. He understands when to pass and shoot. And with his athleticism and length, I think he should be living at the free throw line. He can be an unbelievable offensive rebounder. He can shoot the ball from 3. And then defensively, just really active and getting steals and deflections. And those are things that I think he displayed against Duke, and things that, that he's done that most freshmen can't do, and again, he's a freshman, and just really proud of him. We've put a lot on him this year as a freshman, and he's really responded to it, and just a pleasure to coach.